5.5 minutes past 1. You'll remember back in May we did a very special programme looking at the challenges of living with a diagnosis of pancreatic cancer, which can be devastating not just for the person who's been given that diagnosis, but for their family and friends. One of our guests on that programme was Olive Buckley, who was given the diagnosis the previous year, and she was an extraordinary guest, though that will not be a surprise to those who know her well. Many of you got in touch with us to pass on your best wishes to Olive and to praise her for the strength of spirit, the personal courage she showed that day. Well, at the end of last week, we got the news from Olive's partner, Gary, that she's died a year or so after her initial diagnosis. Here's a reminder of what Olive said to us when she came into the Talkback studio 4 months ago.
Whenever you're given the diagnosis at the beginning, it's actually very difficult to think of the right questions. The questions come afterwards. And I think that's, where the availability of specialist nurses and, where there are, doctors making themselves available to you, because things occur to you afterwards. They don't occur just at the time that you've been given the diagnosis, because it's just so out of the blue. But I think something that I've done personally, I had a couple of hours between leaving hospital and going home and meeting my partner to say, this is the diagnosis I've got. Yeah. And I had decided, I resolved in that period of time to say, do you know what? I'm living with this. I'm not going to die of this. And I decided that no matter what way I dealt with it, this was going to be head on, positive. Let's talk about it. Let's talk to everybody about it. And that would be one of the reasons why I'm here today.
So it's not going to define you?
No, absolutely not.
Olive Buckley, who died last week at the age of 55, speaking to me in May. And to Gary, her partner, her family, and to her many friends, we send our sincere condolences.